Hey everybody, this is the Esoteric Cross. My name is Will and I make videos about how to gain your personal power while learning ancient secrets. If that sounds like something that you're into, please hit the like button and subscribe and gain insight from this perspective in the cosmos. The zodiac is commonly used in astrology to predict the future and get insights into one's personality. But what if I told you that there's an even more powerful way to harness the energies of the stars? We're going to dive into the fascinating world of ceremonial magic and its connection to the zodiac. In this video, we're going to get into some of the deeper meanings of the zodiac and how to use these signs in practical ways within ceremonial magic. Explore the art of invoking zodiac signs through rituals and practical tips for aligning with the seasons. The first thing that we need to do is unveil the true meaning of the zodiac. Now, my last 4 videos were all pretty much centered around the zodiac, so make sure to check those out if you're interested in deeper dives into astrotheology. The zodiac, originating in ancient Mesopotamia, uses these 12 signs to align with the wheel of the year. The system, influenced by the number 12, is deeply ingrained in timekeeping, astrology, and various cultural and religious traditions, including the 12 disciples, 12 tribes of Israel, and of course with timekeeping, the 12 hours on the clock and the 12 months. 12 is very significant, and I get a lot of comments asking about the 13th sign of the zodiac, so check out my video on the 13th zodiac sign for a detailed explanation on this topic. You can click the top right corner of the screen to watch that if you'd like. 12 is necessary for mathematics because it can be broken down into 4 equal parts, the 4 seasons. The 4 fixed signs of the zodiac are also pretty significant as they represent the 4 corners and the fullness of these seasons within the wheel of the year. And of course, these 12 signs are used within astrology, which is what they're most known for. Most people know their sun sign, so for example, I was born in mid-September, the sun is in Virgo during my birthday, so therefore I'm a Virgo. Now this is kind of loose because of the precession of the equinoxes. The sun doesn't actually pass through these constellations at the same time that they used to, even though we still use this old system. That's totally fine because it's not the exact placement of the sun that matters the most. The system itself and what it represents is actually what matters the most. Some constellations of the zodiac are larger or smaller than others. Each zodiac sign lasts about 30 days within astrology, but in reality, the sun might spend 45 days passing that constellation, or 7 days depending on which one it is. But within astrology, we divide the sky into 4 equal parts regardless. Again, this is less about the physical placements and more about the symbolism. The truth about the zodiac lies in its symbolism. It's an allegory for consciousness. Basic astrology involves the 4 elements, the 7 classical planets to the ancients, and the 12 zodiac signs. One of the best ways to get a deeper esoteric understanding of all of this is to study the Kabbalistic tree of life, which details these parts and how they pertain to you. That's the secret. What this has to do with you. You are the microcosm of the universe. You are a focal point of the one true consciousness that we call God. We all are. Being made in the image of the Creator, we can see the cosmos reflected in us. So any form of cosmology that you're going to find is actually a detailed description of you and your psyche. That's what we're actually looking at here. This is a map of your consciousness. Astrotheology is probably the topic that you'd want to look into. It explains the allegory here. Earth represents your physical body, the concentrated and densest part of your energy field. This is your results, the fruit of your efforts, located at the center of your birth chart or the center of the geocentric model. Earth contains the 4 elements, which are the 4 seasons. How life on Earth responds to the cycle of the sun through the wheel of the zodiac. The sun represents consciousness. It is conscious, life-giving energy. It's the only body here in our solar system that produces light of its own. The moon represents subconscious energy, and it reflects the light of the sun, just as the conscious mind shines its light to the subconscious, and the subconscious reflects that light as they both affect the body and the physical reality. The planets are aspects of the sun, as they are also reflecting the sun's light in various ways and intensities. And then we have the wheel of the zodiac. The wheel is a representation of the cycle of the sun, which affects Earth in its 4 seasons or 4 elements. The signs of the zodiac are like faces, masks, or costumes for the sun. Allegorically, they are presentations of your consciousness. Yes, this is psychological, but not only psychological. It is also spiritual and energetic. And the symbolism of this is the key to using it within magic, because symbolism is the key to the subconscious mind. Astrology has long been linked to ceremonial magic going back to ancient Mesopotamia. It was used to understand when to plant or harvest, predicting the future, and it was believed that magic rituals can work with astrological phenomena to harness the powers of certain aspects. Astrology and magic has had a long relationship, and this has been broken up and reconciled over thousands of years. But here we live in an age where this relationship has been rekindled. Ceremonial magic or high magic is a system and a path, and many people don't realize this. The path is very important when it comes to the concept of the zodiac because this model actually shows the path of magic. Now, high magic is a system that works heavily with symbolism. It's partly psychological in the way that symbols are used to communicate with the subconscious, since the subconscious doesn't really communicate with words. It does so with symbols and feelings. But the subconscious is much more than just a psychological piece of us. It's the link into the eternal, the oneness of consciousness. It's a connection to the all, the universe. It's the relationship that's cultivated between the conscious and the unconscious that unlocks the door to creating the reality that you really want to experience. And it's the revealer of the puzzle pieces that you need to put together for your understanding of yourself in the universe. High magic is not just a psychological game or a way to hype yourself up. It's a way of presenting images to yourself that act as seeds. They cultivate in your energy field until they blossom into new understandings that can be used in powerful ways. Rituals are the foundation to the system. These rituals are done on a daily basis to energize this cultivation. They involve symbols, visualizations, breathwork, vibration of names and words of power, and working with archangels. A big part of ritual work is what we call astrotheurgy, which is a way of aligning the self with astrological phenomena. These rituals mirror this. For example, the lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram, otherwise known as the LBRP, is splitting the consciousness into its 4 parts: air, fire, water, and earth. But this ritual is an allegory for the 4 seasons. Air is spring, then we move to fire, summer, then to water, autumn, and to earth, winter, and then back to the east, completing the cycle of the year. The LBRP is done daily to clear out these energies within our consciousness. As you can see with the path of magic, the first step is to work on earth and the 4 elements, as you are setting up this foundation for future work. They represent the 4 aspects of your inner world, your body. The next step would be to work on the planetary energies, which are representing more archetypal aspects. These are like personalities and reflections of consciousness. They are more external ways that we interact with the world. Then we have the wheel of the zodiac, which are bigger archetypal energies. They are more powerful and potent. Really, each one is honing in on a specific aspect of elemental energies, but these are more macrocosmic. The zodiac has earth signs, water signs, air signs, and fire signs. Earth represents the physical body, health, career, finances, growth, and manifestations. So going with some examples, the earth signs can hone in on certain parts of earth, like Virgo being the more health-conscious part, which focuses on routines and analytical thinking. Capricorn represents overcoming obstacles, hurdles. Capricorn is the hard worker, practical, and can be financially focused. Now the other earth sign is Taurus, which is a fixed sign, which means this is more set in stone. It is stable. And being placed in the middle of spring means that it embodies the fullness of spring. Spring is new life, growth, and gaining. Taurus will then be used for stability, new growth, and gaining, especially as it pertains to finances, health, and career. I hope that this is making sense, that you can really take these elemental energies to the next level by focusing on the zodiacal energies. There are 2 main ways that we can invoke zodiac signs. One way is using the formula for the supreme ritual of the pentagram, and the other is the greater ritual of the hexagram. For a more powerful effect, you can use them both. The Supreme Pentagram ritual involves using a white spirit pentagram and then drawing an invoking pentagram for the element over top of it. We then draw the symbol for the zodiac sign in the center of that pentagram. The Supreme Pentagram ritual is a way of invoking the 4 fixed signs of the zodiac, but of course you can tailor this to invoke any sign of the zodiac that you want. You would use the invoking pentagram for the element of that sign, and then draw the symbol for that zodiac sign in the center of the pentagram. The greater hexagram ritual can be used in pretty much the same way, but you will invoke the planet that is associated with the sign, but with the symbol for the zodiac sign in the middle of the hexagram. Of course, using these methods would require you to be familiar with ceremonial magic rituals, but this is a great way to work with these energies that brings about so many more benefits than just manifestation. They create stability and growth in all areas of life when we take the time to work on each aspect in this path. Now, the natal chart can also affect this work in some ways. I have to be honest that working with natal charts, transits in astrology, and more heavy and in-depth astrology is not my strong suit, but this is something that I'm slowly working into. But this is a fascinating topic, and you can look up some things on astrological magic and talismans for more information. When it comes to your natal chart and transits, I think that this may require a deal of experimentation and study. You may not know how working with an element, planet, or zodiac sign is going to affect you until you actually work with it. For example, I have almost no significant fire placements within my birth chart. When I've worked with fire, I felt surges of energy that radically transformed aspects of my life. I think working with fire will do that for anyone because that's what the energy represents anyway, but for me this was so deeply needed. Since I have a great deal of earth in my chart, I've noticed that working with earth is pretty easy. It comes naturally to me, and it's become my comfort zone. It's where many of my gifts and my talents are, but also some lessons. Working so much with earth for me has caused some imbalances because of this, meaning there can be an excess of earth energy that shows up as slowness, feeling sluggish, tired, and overly materialistic. When these things show up for me, I know to release this energy. It's a delicate balance, and these are some things that I learned from trial and error, analysis, writing things down in my magical journal, reflection, and comparison to periods of time with working with other aspects. One final thing that I want to say on this topic is to really notice the zodiac season that you're in now. For example, while recording this video, it's currently Leo season, pretty much the middle of Leo season, which is an important occult time. Lammas is the beginning of the harvest season. We are at the peak energy of the sun, where the sun is a roaring lion. Take your attention fully into the season that you're in. Feel the summer deeply. Connect this feeling to the zodiac sign and meditate on it. And then you can use these feelings within your magical workings. Now, I know that this is all from the perspective of the northern hemisphere where these ideas originate. You can still apply these ideas to the southern hemisphere, but it may be a bit more difficult to connect to, and I wish I had more that I could add about that. You may be able to find the underside of these zodiac signs within that season in the southern hemisphere, as if each sign contains its opposites or a shadow side. This would require further contemplation, meditation, and creativity to connect with these concepts from the southern hemisphere. It's the allegorical representation of these aspects that matter more than anything. Hopefully this video was helpful in understanding more about zodiacal magic, as it's a powerful way to tap into the forces of the stars and align with the cycles of the cosmos. By incorporating rituals into daily life, we can harness the energy of the stars and bring about positive changes in our lives. Whether you're beginning your path in magic or you're pretty experienced, the art of zodiacal magic offers a wealth of possibilities for personal growth, transformation, and manifestation. For more information on High Magick, I'm creating a course on High Magick for you to go at within your own pace. And I also have a membership with a great community that focuses on magic, tarot, and Qabalah. You can check that out in the link below, and I also have separate courses on Qabalah and also studying tarot with the Kabbalistic Tree of Life, which is something that most courses in tarot don't offer. There's also a link to where you can book a tarot reading with me, and I'll also have the link to my Patreon if you're interested in some live streams. I hope that there was something new that you were able to take away from this video. If so, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe for more content. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time.